Hi, it's me again, Paul from New Era Software. We're here to talk to you for a few minutes about the control editor. And I have some things I'd like to show. So hang on there just a minute and I'll share my screen. So you can see here that we're here again to talk about some big ideas at New Era and tools that we have that can help security people and systems programmers. In this particular instance, we're talking about the control editor. And our focus is going to be to give you some background on its application development and then what users are saying about it today as they experience it and share its functionality with others in their organization. Now, we've got 6 or so of those user stories here. We won't be able to share them all, so we're just going to work on the first one, which is called Perimeter Security is Not Enough. And then you can follow along with the rest of them as you get a copy of this presentation. So first, let's talk about the history of the control editor. Going back about 15 years, the original control editor design was essentially a tool to help system programmers manage their workflow to ensure that they always had a backup in place, ready to go for any change that they were anticipating making. And that process was controlled by what we refer to as boundaries or control data sets. Those backups were recorded in our control journal. We don't use SMF or any post-processing or anything like that. And there were records that were kept that could be used for reporting purposes and queries that could be made in real time in the event that a user wanted to restore a particular member in a data set back to some previous version. So pretty straightforward backup process designed for system programmers. But as time went on, things changed and additional functionality was requested and additional functionality was added. So first, the boundary scope was increased to include system messages, things that could be important to understanding the operation of a system. And then commands that were generated from the command line under TSO-ISPF, things like sysprog, for example, or sysprog, letting someone know who might be adding or modifying the APF data set concatenation. Now, along with that came some other functionality in the TSO-ISPF environment, things like notification, for example, or the ability to perform an image focus inspection in real time against a member that was being updated. So we could test members before we actually committed them to production. We had a complete record of the history of changes that were made to members over time. And importantly, we added a documentation functionality that allowed for users to document their changes in line. And reports increased. We went from occurrence type reports to periodic reports to forensic reports that could be used for auditing purposes and for security violations. And we added detected changes. That is, that this functionality allowed us to capture changes not only in an active online ISPF edit session, but also in batch processing or in processing that affected control boundaries, control data sets that might be made from other systems or other environments. And of course, the underlying tools were enhanced at the same time. So we not only have control file registry, a journal file registry, access to all of the image focus inspectors, but there are also a set of query tools that allow us to query the control journals for any of the classifications of boundaries that are currently available, data sets, messages, commands, and then notifications of all kinds in real time or scheduled at any particular point in time that you might desire, daily, weekly, or monthly. So a complete set of tools, a completely integrated workflow management process, not only for system programmers, but also useful for security experts. Now, how users use the control editor is dependent on what type of a problem they're trying to solve. And one of those that's on the minds of many people today is the issue of perimeter security and the concern that it's simply not enough to deter problems of security from reaching into mainframe data. And so the core concern here is that the bad guys are already inside the wire. And so many organizations today are faced with the prospect of having to implement a zero trust policy. And typically, those zero trust policies are difficult to implement within an external security manager environment alone. So the control editor essentially provides a solution to that problem. No need to change any of the settings in the external security manager. Just simply add control points and boundaries that can set up dynamic enforcement points that ensure that only those that have specific authorized access to specific components can gain access to them. Their access actually being validated in real time with each individual attempt. And of course, in the cases where violations are created, those are reported in real time. So there are more of these user stories here. I hope that you'll have a chance to review them when you get a copy of these slides by essentially downloading them from the website that you're on currently. And I look forward to talking to you more about the control editor and what it is able to do to help you to improve the security integrity of your ZOS environment. Thanks much. I appreciate your attention. Have a great day. Bye-bye.